At the time of making this video, Charlie is the least played brawler in the game, and rests at the complete rock bottom of the F tier. This is a very far cry from what she used to be. But after 14 consecutive nerfs, who can blame her? In this video, I'm going to remind you all how good Charlie actually was in her prime, and why she is the most broken brawler in the game's history. Charlie was released on November 6th, 2023, and on day one, everyone knew she was completely broken in so many ways. But by far, the most broken thing about her was her super. She could trap enemies in a cocoon for 10 entire seconds. And on top of that, enemies lost 50% of their health while cocooned. This super wasn't even hard to hit. This thing moved like lightning. You could literally auto-aim it from across the map and it would hit easily. Essentially, this super turned a 3v3 into a 3v2 for 10 entire seconds. And then it was an insta-kill as soon as those 10 seconds were up. Sounds a little broken, doesn't it? And Supercell realized this and emergency nerfed her 3 days after release, which is unprecedented. Her super trap was decreased from 10 seconds to 7 seconds, and health reduction was lowered from 50% to 25%. So yeah, pretty significant nerfs. Nerfs this extreme would normally cripple brawlers, but not Charlie. Charlie was so broken that this just turned her from a free win button to a broken, unbalanced brawler. This is because of the second reason why she was broken, her attack. She had a range of 9 and a damage per hit of 1600. Seems pretty normal, right? Well, it would be normal if this attack didn't turn into a machine gun at close range. At close range, she could fire one hit every 0.25 seconds, or 6400 DPS. At point blank range, this was the most DPS in the game, even more than assassins and tanks. Keep in mind, Charlie is a long range brawler, not an assassin. These tools alone would make her unimaginably broken. Except there's a third reason that made her so good, her gadget. Her gadget spawns 3 spiders with 1760 health each, who are insanely fast and do respectful amounts of damage to enemies. The thing that's broken here is the spider's health. With a collective health of 5280, this is about 60% of Bruce's health. With a gadget that you can use 4 times a game, this allowed teams to make their 3v2 pushes even easier in game modes such as, well, all of them. And Charlie wasn't only good in 3v3. Apparently, in Showdown, it's kind of broken when you incapacitate your one enemy whenever you please. 3 weeks after Charlie's released, we had the Brawl Stars World Finals, the place where we really get a good taste of how good a brawler really is. But unfortunately, we never got to see how good Charlie was in World Finals, because she was banned in literally every single game. She was banned 131 separate times out of 131 games in World Finals. This is the only time for any tournament in Brawl Stars history that a brawler had a 100% ban rate. If this doesn't encapsulate how broken she was, I don't know what will. Supercell's not completely stupid. They're just mostly stupid. 5 months after her release, she was nerfed, and nerfed hard. Her reload speed was halved, her supercharge rate was nerfed by 20%, super duration was nerfed from 7 seconds to 5 seconds, and her spider's health was reduced by an entire 50%. After these nerfs, she was no longer a broken brawler. But surprisingly, she was still meta. Her super was so fast that you hit 100% of the time from across the map. As long as she had this, she would always be meta. 2 months later, her projectile speed was decreased by an astonishing 33%. Her super, the best part of her kit, was now almost impossible to hit. After this, she was basically useless, but had a decent use cases as a pretty solid tank counter, and a pretty balanced brawler to be honest. 2 months later, her attack range was decreased from 9 tiles to 8.33, and her supercharge rate was decreased by 16%. Now, her hard-hit supers were almost impossible to even charge in a game. Charlie, at this point, was barely usable. Only if the entire team was tanks could she be used, and even then, you'd rather pick someone else like Shelly. She had now truly hit rock bottom. 2 months later, her attack damage was nerfed by 5%, and her spider duration was cut in half. If she was nerfed into the ground before, then now she was nerfed down to hell. This was Supercell repenting for what they had done in the past, and making sure Charlie would never be usable again. 5 months have passed since this final nerf, and I would not be surprised if she stays in this state forever. It is a heavy price to pay to be the most broken brawler in Brawl Stars history.